crash again, one of his tail fins severed by the bola. When Hiccup returns home, he finds his father has enrolled him in dragon fighting training alongside Astrid and the other young Vikings. In the arena, under Gobber's instruction, they face captive dragons while learning to become warriors. But Hiccup's heart is no longer in the fight. Instead, he splits his time between the arena and secret visits to Toothless, slowly building trust with the grounded dragon. As days pass, Hiccup crafts a mechanical tail fin for Toothless and learns to fly with him, discovering that dragons are not the mindless monsters his people believe them to be. Using this knowledge, he begins excelling in training, pacifying dragons instead of fighting them, earning praise from his tribe while hiding his growing friendship with their supposed enemy. Meanwhile, Stoic's expedition ends in disaster at Helheim's Gate, where fog-shrouded waters hide jagged rocks and dragon ambushes. The survivors return to Berk to find Hiccup has become the unlikely champion of dragon training, earning the title of top slayer and the honor of killing a dragon before the entire tribe. But Astrid grows suspicious of Hiccup's sudden success and his frequent disappearances. Following him one day, she discovers his secret friendship with Toothless. After a terrifying but ultimately beautiful flight with the Night Fury, she agrees to keep their secret, especially after they witness the true horror driving the dragon raids, a colossal queen dragon that devours any dragon that fails to bring sufficient tribute. On the day of Hiccup's final trial, he enters the arena determined to show his people that dragons and Vikings can coexist peacefully. Before the gathered tribe, he drops his weapons and approaches the monstrous nightmare with open hands. For a moment, it seems his message of peace might succeed, but his father's angry shouts startle the dragon back into violence. In the chaos that follows, Toothless fights his way into the arena to save Hiccup, only to be captured by the Vikings. Stoic, feeling utterly betrayed, disowns his son and forces the captive Night Fury to guide them to the dragon's nest. Despite Hiccup's desperate warnings about the queen's power, the Viking fleet sails into certain doom. Left behind and heartbroken, Hiccup refuses to abandon his friend. With Astrid's help, he rallies the other young Vikings, and together they tame the training dragons and mount a desperate rescue mission. As the Viking fleet faces annihilation at the claws of the monstrous Red Death, Hiccup and his friends arrive on Dragonback for an aerial battle that will determine the fate of both species. In the climactic fight, Hiccup and Toothless work together to bring down the enormous queen, but victory comes at a terrible cost. As the Red Death crashes in a massive explosion, Toothless shields Hiccup with his own body, though not before the boy's leg is crushed in the flames. When Hiccup awakens days later, he discovers his leg has been replaced by a mechanical prosthetic, a mirror to Toothless' artificial tail fin. But more importantly, he finds that his example has transformed Berk forever. Dragons and Vikings now live in harmony, and his father, proud and apologetic, welcomes both his son and Toothless as heroes. As Hiccup takes to the skies once more with his dragon companions, a new age of peace and understanding dawns over the island of Berk, proving that sometimes the greatest strength lies not in conquering your enemies, but in learning to see the world through their eyes. The boy who was once the village disappointment had become something far greater than a dragon slayer. He had become a bridge between two worlds,